How's it going, everybody? How's it going? Today is the second day of October. It is Thursday. I'm here on the island of Maui in Wailuku, and today this podcast is going to be about just having hope and faith, and no matter what you're going through right now, if you're having a hard time in life, to just stay the course and keep moving forward and not backward because you know life is tough. And my whole thing, this is just a practice podcast, and I'm just trying to just do a practice one until I get all my important things in order where I can you know really upgrade everything, uh, my computer, microphones, headphones, and the branding and all that. But if you're watching this, I just got friends watching it, and I put it on X, mostly on X, and you can find it on X. I put like different posts on X as well, which was Twitter before, and just positive, positive words as much as possible. Nothing too political or whatnot. But there's a lot of bad news that's promulgated on the mainstream media, left, right, and it's just really bad. And there's nothing really good that's being promoted. And it really seems like when, even online, on social media, when Uncle's coughing in the background, someone posts something very good, uh, very wholesome, sometimes they'll get like, 2 million views or whatnot. But when just the everyday person posts a good words, good quotes, maybe from a spiritual leader or a philosopher, it doesn't get a lot. And especially on X, mostly on X, that's what I've been looking at now. There's a lot of people that post some really good inspirational messages, but it doesn't get like, a million likes or like 100,000 likes or people watching it or looking at it. But, you know, the thing is with what I'm trying to do is just kind of stay within my zip code or just in my little, social circle, people that I know, and then from there I can grow. But my whole thing is to be positive, and for me, I'm a Christian. I'm not a full-on 100% good guy Christian. I have a lot of faults, and I'll tell you what happened yesterday. I was at a Starbucks yesterday, and I went to the bus stop, and there's this lady there that just, she was white. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to explain the situation so you can see the my example. I'm brown. I'm Filipino, I'm brown. I'm considered like a minority, right? But I'm legal. I was born here. My parents, they did all the legal things, and they were legally United States citizens back in the day. But this lady was white, and I said hi to her and whatever. But she gave me like this look, like "Don't talk to me," and it was really like that evil stare. And I'm sorry, I could have misinterpreted. She could have had a bad day, but at that time, she was smoking a cigarette, and what she did was, not only did she give me one of those looks and that evil stare, like that kind of go right through you. And she was like, I'm 5'5", I'm short, but she was like shorter than me, so I would say she's like maybe 4 feet 8, 4'9", maybe 5 feet. But she was smoking a cigarette, and she was probably in her maybe mid 50s, maybe 60s. She's smoking a cigarette and she blew her smoke right into my face. And that's when my niceness and my walk with God kind of went out the window because that was rude. I could have took the high road and just kind of walked away and go, man, that's, Lord, help this lady. But the Filipino came out, and us Filipinos got the hot blood, right? And the F bombs came out like nonstop. I don't know. I don't know how long I was in her face. I was on the side of her ear, and she was just looking at me like she wanted to laugh, but I just kept on F bombing her, and I got that mean look in my face, and I was like kind of like right in her face, and that was wrong of me. But I thought that was wrong of her to just blow smoke right in my face. And I was like, you know what? Screw this. And I think after a while, she kind of felt like, oh man, I might do something to her. Like she ticked me off, and which she did. But then after that, I calmed down. The bus was coming, and I seen like she had a hard time getting her bags or whatnot. And so I was like, I just said to myself, just chill out, just just stop it already. So I looked at she was older, and I think she had a hard time grabbing stuff. So I was like, you know what, kill her with kindness, kill her with kindness. So I said, you know what, the bus was there. And the bus driver, come on, get in, because he's got to make time. So I was like, you know what? He can wait. So she looked at me like I go ahead. I go, no, you go first, ma'am. You go first. So I kind of killed her with kindness. And then when she went on the bus, she had some rubbish and she told the bus driver, can you throw this away? So I was like, she's a total Karen. Now she wants the bus driver to throw away her crap. So I was like, oh, God bless her or whatever. But that's what I'm saying. We all fall short of being perfect human beings. You know, it happens to the best of us. For me, I gotta learn to kind of chill out because there's triggers, man. I go to therapy because we lost everything in the fires 2 years ago, but I'm not using that as an excuse. I don't want to be the victim, but I have a short fuse these days for certain things, and I shouldn't let it get to me. That's what I'm learning. Gotta learn to like mitigate my anger, if you will. Let me take a sip of my coffee real quick. By the way, how's your health? How's your health? Okay, take care of your health. Take care of your physical health and take care of your mental health. I can't stress that enough. How many of you out there have high, your sugar levels are high? How many of you? All right. If you are in that diabetes 1, type 1, type 2 uh, area with your health, please take care because I know of people that had to amputate their feet, their legs. And just recently, I saw one of my friends I haven't seen for a long time. He was from Lahaina. I haven't seen him for a long time, and I seen him. I'm on the other side of Lahaina, on the island. So long story short, I seen him like maybe 2 weeks ago, and I seen him again last week. But he was telling me he's got to watch his sugar. He showed me his feet, two, his left and his right foot, like his foot and like right by the ankle. It is red. I don't know how to define it. It really looked like it was like there was like infection, and he said he had it bandaged up, and he goes, yeah, man, I gotta watch my sugar, diabetes. And I go, dude, man, and he was in a freaking Starbucks. I was on my computer actually, trying to do my thing, and he was in Starbucks. I go, dude, I hope you're drinking like stuff without any sugar, right? But yeah, but he loves his sweets, and I go, dude, just take care of your health. And all of you out there who have some kind of physical and mental health issues, take care of that. Always be positive. It's a hard journey every day to maintain. You know what I'm saying? Like I had friends who were like alcoholics, and man, it's a beast of a issue to stay off of alcohol, especially somebody who drink a lot. But sometimes it takes a major issue with your health and you go downhill to finally wake up. A few of my friends had liver problems who were alcoholics and they woke up. And I'm not saying became born again Christians, but they changed their lives considerably, like even who they hung out with. But if you got a mental issue, you have a physical issue, please take care and maintain your mental health and your physical health. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna preach about mental health so much today, but just try and find solutions. That's what maybe this podcast is all about: solutions and wisdom. You know what I'm saying? Again, I am a Christian, and I have a lot of Christian friends. Um, what I was gonna say? Um, I'm not gonna push my beliefs on you whatsoever. I respect you if you don't believe in God. I respect you if you do, or maybe you're a Buddhist. I respect you. Muslim. I respect you. whatever. You believe in different gods, and but you just want a good life here on earth, and you respect other people. Hey, I'm good with that. You know what I'm saying? And I think we all should be, and not hateful. When I was growing up, I grew up, in Lahaina. I had, Caucasian friends, Asian friends, Native Hawaiian friends, Samoan friends, later on in life, Tongan friends and Micronesian friends, African American friends, man, I had them all. And we had, growing up, we already knew, somebody was going to turn out gay. And we had, friends who were gay. We had friends who were like in between. Our parents taught us to just love everybody back in the day. So, going to school, we had just a whole mixed crew of people, and we all got along. And that's what's missing today. I get it. You're standing up for your beliefs and stuff like that. But I think sometimes people really go too strong on their beliefs, and they push it on people, and that's not good too. That's just my thing. I mean, if you're a transsexual person, well, hey, I respect you for who you are. If you're a MAGA person, fully, conservative, I respect you. You're on the left. You have your very uh, uh, leftist views. That's cool too. You know what I'm saying? We can all get along. Seriously. Okay, so I'm gonna read from the Bible, and for those of you who are not Christians, this is just Proverbs, the Book of Proverbs. It's basically all wisdom, pretty much, from King Solomon. Uh, so I'm gonna read it. So it's the benefits of wisdom. So it's like the wise man talking. Okay, so I'm gonna read, verses 1 through 22. All right. So it says, "My child, listen to what I say and treasure my commands." All right. So some people might be thinking, "Wow, man, what's that? Like you're ordering somebody, man. That's not cool." Like some people they say, "Wow, man, what's with this command thing, Ron?" But just listen, all right? So it continues. Tune your ears to wisdom and concentrate on understanding. So the wise man saying, tune your ears to wisdom. He's not saying foolishness. Wisdom is like, okay, we know right from wrong. We know the stove is hot. We're not going to touch it. You're going to tell your children, listen to me, don't touch that. You're going to get burned, right? Um, Now, if you tune your ears to wisdom, if you tune your ears to foolishness, that, like what I see on the news a lot, people are just foolish. They're speaking without thinking. So if you tune into foolishness a lot, what are you going to do? You're probably going to be foolish yourself. So it's this, and concentrate on understanding. All right. People don't concentrate on understanding anymore. They're so foolish. Like they don't care, right? You know, they see somebody with a rainbow hat, they're gonna beat them up. Somebody says something that's not, in their scope of things, they beat them up or cuss them out or whatever, right? So it continues this. So the wise man, I'm just making an analogy, right? So the wise man is saying, cry out for insight and ask for understanding. Pretty much is the same thing, right? So it's like, instead of you crying out for foolishness, cry out for wisdom. What's right and what's wrong. Search for them as you would for silver. Seek them like hidden treasure. In other words, the wise man saying, search for the wisdom, all right? Like if you're looking for monetary items or money itself, or it says silver, sterling silver or gold, you know, never mind that. But if you got wisdom, you're good to go, all right? And this is for the Christians, right? It says, then you will understand what it means to fear the Lord, and you will gain knowledge of God, because the Bible is all about God. The New Testament is about Jesus. And again, if I'm turning you off with the Jesus thing, then you can turn this off right now. But I respect all of your views. So if you weren't really into God, stick around a little bit. Maybe you haven't heard this before. This is the Book of Proverbs. All right, so it continues. All right, so it says, "For the Lord grants wisdom; from his mouth come knowledge and understanding." All right, some people go, "Oh, well, did you hear God? Seriously, did you hear God? Or you're some kind of freak?" I'll be honest with you, I never heard God's voice. That's just me. Some people say they did. I've never heard his voice, but I get his words from the Bible. I get it from when I do my churching, or when I have spiritual Christian mentors. We have Bible study and all that kind of stuff. Get it from them, or just in everyday life. Sometimes someone who's godly or maybe not godly will speak wisdom. Hey, you shouldn't do that. Maybe you should do this, and it makes sense when they talk. Not all the time, but you know what I mean. So he grants a treasure of common sense to the honest. He is a shield to those who walk with integrity. He guards the paths of the just and protects those who are faithful to him. Then you will understand what is right, just, and fair, and you will find the right way to go. For wisdom will enter your heart, and knowledge will fill you with joy. Wise choices will try that again. Sorry. Wise choices will watch over you. Understanding will keep you safe. There you go. Wise choices and understanding will keep you safe. All right. So let's say you're young, you're a dude, you want to party, you want to meet, the opposite sex or the same sex or whatever. That's your thing. I'm not gonna judge anyone. But let's say you're gonna go night clubbing, all right? And one of your friends goes, "Hey man, go to that club. I heard there was like a stabbing like a year ago. Maybe we shouldn't go in there." And if it's, "Oh, come on, man, that was a year ago. Come on, get off of it. Let's go." And your friend who has this type of like the danger zone antennas come up, and he's just saying, "Look, man, I'm not being like a straight A student or a nerd here. I'm just watching over you guys because, who's to say we go in there, we don't get assaulted? There's some kind of weird people in nightclubs, right?" And that's what it is right there. So make wise choices and be understanding, and you will be safe. Wisdom will save you from evil people, from those whose words are twisted. These men turn from the right way to walk down dark paths. They take pleasure in doing wrong, and they enjoy the twisted ways of evil. Their actions are crooked, and their ways are wrong. Wisdom will save you from the immoral woman and from the seductive words of the promiscuous woman. She has abandoned her husband and ignores the covenant she had made before God. Entering her house leads to death. It is the road to the grave. The man who visits her is doomed. He will never reach the paths of life. So follow the steps of the good and stay on the paths of righteousness. For only the godly will live in the land, and those with integrity will remain in it. But the wicked will be removed from the land, and the treacherous will be uprooted. All right. So basically, the whole theme of Christianity is doing what's right instead of what's wrong. Now, sometimes people go, "Well, Ron, that's subjective. What's right for you may be wrong for me." Well, yeah, I get it. Like if I say, "Well, I'd rather drink Coke than Pepsi." Well, that's subjective. But come on. Like I was talking about the hot stove. What's right and what's wrong? The stove is hot. You're going to put your hand on a hot stove? I don't think so. But if you didn't know the stove was hot and someone came around and goes, "Yeah, man, it's cool. Go put your hand on it." And you go, "Wait a minute, it's a stove." But he's telling me to just put my hand on the stove. What if it's hot? That's where your wisdom has to come in. Wait a minute. He's telling me to put my hands on something that could be hot. No, I'm not going to do that. But if I told you, "Well, the stove is actually cool," and I went to the stove and I put my hand on it, then you'd know, yeah, hey, it's cool. And that's, kind of like wisdom. Well, Ron, let's see, put your hand on there first. It's like in the Bible. I think it was in the book of Nehemiah, and Nehemiah was actually the cupbearer of king. And what happened was he had to leave to rebuild uh, his city. It was in ruins, but his job was to taste the food of the king to make sure it was safe. So he was like the guinea pig right hand man to taste the food if it was poison or not, and everything had to go through him before it went to the king. So what I'm trying to get at is, if I think someone is kind of shady and they give me like a cup of ice cream and I don't know these people and they kind of look strange and they go, hey man, here you go, some ice cream for you, man. But they kind of look kind of weird. I probably wouldn't eat it, because that's my wisdom. That's my wisdom antennas coming up. Going, I don't know about this, man. Why is he offering me ice cream? I don't know these people, but maybe they want to kill me. You never know. So you just get it, put it on the side. And that's another thing too, like especially the women out there. They go to nightclubs. They have the date rape, date rape drugs. They kind of make you incoherent, and the guy takes advantage of the girl and takes her home and rapes her. And that's what I was talking about, wisdom, and understanding. Understand that whenever you go, like to a nightclub or someplace, and you don't know the people, you gotta watch, because it says in the Bible too, be careful of the evil person, the evil one that presents himself or herself like a sheep, right? But actually, they're wolves. They're vicious wolves that will devour you, but they just come along disguised as sheep. And it's out there. In reality, there's people out there who are murderers and rapists that come along and say, hi, how's it going? And, hey, your husband's asking you, who are you talking to? Oh, that's Jim. He just moved across the street. Well, nowadays with the internet, I mean, you should be checking out this dude across the street. What does he have a record? you know, because it happens sometimes. And you befriend someone, and it's good to go for a while. Barbecues, you help each other with your kids. The guy knows how to fix a roof. You help him out, he helps you out. Kind of you barter, the barter system. You become friends, blah blah blah. But all of a sudden, something triggers the guy, and he turns into the psychotic um, abuser or even a killer. So this is just a short, um, kind of like my godly podcast on wisdom. Again, for those of you Christians out there, I take the path of not like really just blowing stuff in people's faces, like, hey, you got to follow the Christian way, and you got to follow the Catholic way or whatever. None of that. It's We need to get along, and with the division we have in our world today, our society, I take the path of, okay, I believe in God, I believe in Jesus, and I just take it out of the New Testament. Jesus is not a judge. I think it's in Matthew. Don't judge anyone, for you will be judged. So while I'm here on earth, I'll serve God, my belief, but I won't push it on anybody unless they want to pray about it. Um, I'm just going to try and be at peace with everybody here. And that's my stance. And I know I got a Christian friend that doesn't like what I say, and I'm like, well, dude, you're the kind of guy that goes to a party and you got your Bible out and you're just trying to preach to everybody instead of just having a good time. I mean, it's okay to just put your Bible away and socialize, but he's one of those guys that will kind of, I hate to say it, will kind of like ruin the mood of someone's party. And that's not good. That's not cool. To me, that's not cool. You got to respect your host. If you don't like your host of the party, then go. But my friend is like, I told him, man, if you're not God, that's number one. I told my friend, you're not God. You're far from it. And yeah, you know your Bible kind of inside out, but kind of chill out on that. So anyway, I'm not. For those of you who watch this, you're gonna know right off the bat. I believe in God. I believe in Christ, but I'm not gonna push nothing on you. I'll read Proverbs and only for the good things. And if you question it, fine. You comment, fine. You don't like what I'm doing, fine. But to all of you out there who are suffering, going through some bad times right now, may God be with you, and bring good people in your lives to assist you. All right. So Ron, brother Ron, with my orange. But I was on Zoom earlier. The guy was in Vegas. Go, what? What are you gonna do, man? Direct traffic? I'm like, yeah. It's I got this like I don't know, on Amazon or something. It was like like $5.99 and you get 100 pieces of shirts, right? But anyway, you guys take care and may God be with you. And if you don't believe in God, I mean it in a good way, right? You guys take care.